When people think about emergency preparedness, they imagine expensive gear and elaborate setups. But here's what they miss. The most valuable survival tools are probably sitting in your home right now, costing less than $5 each. Today, we're covering 6 household items that transform from everyday objects into essential survival tools. No fear-mongering, no $1,000 shopping lists, just practical intelligence that could make all the difference when infrastructure fails. Let's get into it. That empty spray bottle under your sink, it's one of the most versatile tools you can have in a crisis. Sanitation becomes critical when water systems fail. Fill a cleaned spray bottle with diluted bleach, rubbing alcohol, or even vinegar, and you've got a portable disinfection system. You can sanitize surfaces, clean cooking areas, and disinfect minor wounds with precision and control. Water conservation is another huge benefit. Turn one into a field shower. Rinse your hands, clean utensils, or mist yourself down to stay cool in extreme heat. You'll stretch 2 liters of water into 20 uses. Fire starting in difficult conditions becomes easier too. Add alcohol to a spray bottle, and you've got a controlled ignition tool for wet or windy situations. Here's my setup. Keep 3 per kit. 1 for hygiene, 1 for disinfectant, 1 for multi-purpose use. Label them clearly and store them empty until needed. The spray bottle gives you control when resources are scarce, and in crisis situations, control is everything. We're not talking about flimsy sandwich bags. Get the thick, freezer-grade gallon bags that can take real abuse. Food preservation becomes critical when refrigeration fails. Portion out dry goods like rice, beans, and oats into sealed bags. Add oxygen absorbers, and you've extended your shelf life significantly while protecting against moisture and pests. Waterproofing is their superpower. Medical supplies, electronics, fire-starting materials, all worthless if they get wet. Store trauma kits, batteries, headlamps, and power banks in these bags, and they stay functional regardless of conditions. Water transport in an emergency? A heavy-duty bag becomes a temporary water bladder when you have no other options. With careful handling, you can even use them for indirect heating with proper technique. Organization matters when stress is high. Color code or label bags for different purposes. Trauma supplies, electronics, fire kit, hygiene. When seconds count, you know exactly where everything is. My minimum, 25 bags in every emergency kit. They weigh almost nothing, take up no space flat, but they replace bulky containers and provide waterproofing for nearly everything you own. Most people have never even considered these, but silicone stretch lids are game changers for resource conservation. These flexible covers fit any bowl, can, jar, or pot, regardless of size or shape. When containers break or lids disappear, you've still got an airtight seal for storing food, protecting water, or keeping contaminants out of cooking pots. Temperature resistant means they work in extreme cold and heat. Use them to seal a pot of stew overnight, cover filtered water to keep dust out, or even as an emergency lid to retain heat in a cup during freezing conditions. Reusable and silent. Unlike plastic wrap or foil, these don't crinkle, don't attract pests, and can be washed and reused indefinitely. A 6-piece set weighs less than a pair of socks, but functionally gives you 6 sealed containers. Less waste means better rationing. Every scrap of food you can preserve extends your supplies. Every drink you can protect from contamination keeps you healthy. 2 sets minimum, 1 for daily use, 1 as backup. Store them flat. When systems fail, the ability to seal and preserve what you have becomes invaluable. Everyone depends on phones for time, but in a power-down scenario, that cheap wind-up clock gathering dust becomes essential. Structure prevents collapse, not physical collapse, but mental and operational breakdown. Without time discipline, watch rotations fail, cooking burns, medications get mistimed, and exhaustion leads to fatal mistakes. A simple alarm clock requires no electricity, no batteries if it's wind-up, and no cell service. You can maintain watch schedules, wake before dawn to move unseen, time water purification, monitor cooking fuel, and track critical medical intervals. Discipline creates morale. When your group knows there's a schedule, time to rest, time to rotate, time to reset, you maintain order. The psychological impact of consistency in chaos cannot be overstated. Even that old ticking sound becomes comforting, a reminder that something still works. Keep 2-1 wind-up, 1 battery powered. Test them regularly. Wrap them in cloth to muffle sound during transport. When everything else fails, controlling time means controlling your survival operations. And the person with a working timepiece becomes indispensable to any group. Look past the grooming tool. A steel nail file is a lightweight, compact precision instrument with surprising utility. Sharpening and scraping become essential skills. Use it to maintain knife edges, scrape corrosion off battery contacts, or strike a ferro rod with more control than a bulky blade. In darkness or with limited visibility, that precision matters. Emergency repairs multiply your capabilities. Remove splinters, file down rough edges on improvised tools, pry open stuck battery compartments, or clean debris from small gear mechanisms. When your primary tools fail, this backup gets things working again. Barter value is higher than you'd expect. When someone's knife is dull, their gear is jammed, or they need precision work done, that $2 file becomes valuable currency. Carry 2-1 with hygiene supplies because nail health prevents infections, and 1 in your repair kit for maintenance work. Keep both wrapped in cloth and dry. It won't save your life on its own, but when your essential tools need maintenance and precision work is required, you'll understand why experienced preppers never overlook this simple implement. Clothespins seem old-fashioned until you're in a situation where drying wet gear means preventing hypothermia and infection. Drying capabilities are the obvious benefit. Hang wet clothes, socks, or medical wraps on a line between trees or across a shelter. Keeping gear dry prevents mold, infection, and cold-related illness, but clothespins also stop everything from slipping off in wind or chaos. Organization becomes tactical. Pin medical gloves to a wall, attach labels to bags, mark critical packs with colored tags, or post messages and assignments in multi-person groups. Silent communication through simple clips, emergency clamps in unexpected situations. Close a wound wrap quickly, secure a foil blanket to shelter edges, seal supply bags without zip ties. They're reusable, silent, and surprisingly strong. Fire starting bonus. Wooden clothespins broken down make excellent kindling that ignites fast and hot. Emergency fuel that doubles as utility. Keep 30 in a pouch, 15 wooden, 15 heavy-duty plastic. They go in hygiene kits, trade bags, and camp setup supplies. Lightweight, silent, reusable hundreds of times. 6 items, probably under $30 total, but each one multiplies your capabilities when normal systems fail. These aren't panic purchases, they're practical intelligence. While others scramble for expensive gear, you'll have the foundational tools that actually solve daily survival problems. Sanitation, organization, preservation, maintenance, and efficiency. The difference between surviving and thriving often comes down to the small details others overlook. Here's your action step. Walk through your home today. Gather these 6 items, test them, store them properly. Know where they are and how to use them. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more practical preparedness content. No hype, just real-world knowledge that works when it matters most. Because when infrastructure fails, it's not the person with the most expensive gear who succeeds. It's the person who prepared thoughtfully, acted early, and understood that sometimes the cheapest tools are the most essential. Stay prepared, stay practical, stay ahead.